There we go, we're live. Good morning if you're joining on Facebook and YouTube. And then I've just got to press the Instagram button and we are there. Let me move that. Where's my Instagram button gone? It's Monday morning. We'll be focusing on the breath. And today what I want to play around with is the pause at the bottom of the breath. I've been exploring this a little bit more, particularly because I'm in Spain and I'm going to be doing the instructor training, the Oxygen Advantage instructor training, starting tomorrow actually. So I'm heading up to Girona today. But let's start off as always. I've got a full camera here, but hopefully you can see. And if you've joined the sessions, you know what we're doing. We're taking our feet shoulder width apart. We're standing tall through the spine. And then we're just going to focus on our center, our lower dantian, that center of gravity, that point where we think of driving the energy from, just moving that center and just letting the shoulders and the arms relax. And just bringing conscious awareness to the breath. So just noticing the breath as we're doing this very gentle movement. And not changing the way you breathe at all, but just noticing the breath. How does it feel? Can you just feel the air just as it gently flows in and out through the nose? We don't need to be taking big breaths here. We can just keep that breath very light and soft. Is there a rhythm to the breath? Can you notice the rhythm to the breath? And when your mind drifts off, which it always will do, or you'll be focusing on different parts of the body, just very gently use that as an opportunity just to guide your attention back to that conscious awareness of the breath and how that relates to the movement, how the movement relates to the breath. And then just gradually slowing down into water waves. Here we're adding that little bit of resistance. Again, just tuning in to the breath. How does the breath change when we slow the movement? So just conscious awareness of the breath without changing anything, playing detective, witnessing the breath. And taking a rest. Having a little shake if you need a shake. Shake your legs out a little bit if you need to shake your legs out a little bit. So there we were doing our movement, our spine rotation, energizing the spine, waking up the spine, mobilizing the spine, but at the same time, just consciously being aware of how we're breathing, not changing how we're breathing. This next one, we're going to take charge of the breath. So we are going to breathe in a particular way. And we're going to breathe in as we expand. And then we're going to breathe out as we tuck the tailbone and curl underneath. I'm just going to show you, hopefully you can see me from the side there. Breathing in and tucking the tailbone under, breathing out. Spinal cord breathing. So we're in charge of the breath. We're still keeping that breath light, soft, in and out through the nose. Expanding and opening as you breathe in, and contracting and letting go as you're breathing out. And this is where you just follow your breath. Let the breath guide the movement. Don't need to follow me or anyone else. Let's do 2 more. And then take a rest. Have a little shake out. So I'm in Spain at the moment, as I was saying, just going to do the Oxygen Advantage instructor training. Tomorrow we start in Girona, and I was on the beach yesterday and it was pouring with rain, but I was doing all of this in the sea, so I was in the sea doing this movement with the rain pelting down and then running up and down the beach. It's very, very energizing. But as you can hear, I've got a bit of a cold, so that didn't help. So it's great to do, but I don't think it was that caused it. Have a little bit of a shake out. So just shaking the wrists, using the legs, just tapping the heels into the ground. I'm not going to do that too loudly, just in case I wake people up below. And here we'll do a bit of a cleansing and clearing breath. It's a bit like a sigh, so you're taking a nice full breath in and letting go. So again, you are in charge of the breath. You can take a full breath in and let go. Shaking it out, and then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Bringing your palms facing the front. Really open up the palms, really having in mind that the space there in the thumb area, in the palms, just opening up the palms. Letting the breath settle now back to natural breathing pattern. And then we're going to do a little bit of dog wags the tail, so shifting side to side. Pelvis stays parallel to the ground. You're actually using the ground, so feel as if you are pushing the ground away. So as I'm pushing the ground away, that side I go that way, that side I go that way. And then you just free up the upper body. Free up the spine, let that spine just wave, just let the breath be natural. Freeing up the neck and the shoulders. And then slowing it down. We're going to do now a couple of Qigong flows. And normally with the flow, we let the breath guide the movement. But what I'm going to add very subtly to these two flows is focusing on the pause at the bottom of the breath. And it's almost like we're going to wait a few beats when we get to the bottom of the breath. We're not holding. And this is so subtle. This is what I've been playing around with. The difference between holding. So say if we're stressed out and we hold the breath and we go, oh God, what's going to happen? Our body tenses up. But what I want to play around with is when we get to the bottom of the breath, this is like our comfort zone. This is really nice. We can relax into it. We can be calm and relaxed. But we don't want to get to that point where it's like, I need to pull more air in. Oh, I pulled my air into the throat there. So I want us to play around with that, just bottom of the breath, pause, and it's almost like a couple of beats, and then you almost feel that not, I don't even want a need to breathe or an urge to breathe. I want that sensation almost like, yeah, this is lovely, but then I'm going to go again and I'm going to breathe in. We're going to do that to open the flow. It's a lovely movement to do. Let's just practice the movement first. You know it if you've watched before, but let's just practice the movement. So you're just balanced evenly on both feet. You've got a little bit of softness in the knees. And then as you breathe in, there's a little bit of weight shift back towards the heels. As you breathe out, there's a very subtle weight shift towards the ball of the foot. That's just so that we're not just doing arm movements. I'm not just moving my arms like this. It's a whole body movement. It's a whole spine movement. There's a real gentle wave through the spine. Just get used to that movement. Don't worry about the breath for the minute. Just practice the movement. And this movement is continuous. There's no start or stop to the movement. The clue's in the name, it's a flow. Flows don't stop and start, they flow. So before we start to focus on the pause, just now breathe with the movement, or let the movement follow your breath. So everybody's going to be different with this. Just keep that breath light and soft. And we want an inhale as we expand and open up. And we want an exhale as we soften and let go. Just relaxing into the jaw, relaxing into the face. And once you've settled into that rhythm, again, at your own pace, when you get to the bottom of the breath, keep that movement going, but just pause the breath for a few beats and then breathe in. But that pause is very relaxing, it's calming. It's really not holding, so we're not holding tension in the body, we're just taking a rest, taking a moment. Just that couple of extra beats at the bottom, relaxing into that pause, taking a rest, stillness, calmness. It helps you to enjoy that next breath in. It feels great, that next breath that you take in. Just two more. Just following your breath in your own time. Stillness, calmness at the bottom of the breath. And take a rest when you're ready. Just bring the palms facing forwards again, just opening up the shoulders. Pulling down the heavens. Again, just the movement of the breath first, so breathing in. Breathing out. Remember, as we're breathing in, we're opening and expanding. And as we're breathing out, we're relaxing and letting go. And once you've settled into your rhythm, let's play around with that little bit of a pause again at the bottom of the breath. We're not stopping the movement, we're not holding anything, we're having that little bit of stillness, that relaxation at the bottom. And then you take a breath in. Let's do two more. And then just palms facing towards the ground for a moment. And then a little bit of a shake again. And with the shake, let's do a bit of cleansing and clearing breath. So it's a bit like a nice big relaxing sigh, a yawn type feeling. It's breath in and let go. And then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down, just palms facing forwards. Feel the tingling sensations. And then just tuning in with the breath, letting that breath settle. Conscious awareness of the breath. Good. And when you're ready, just taking a seat. You can stay standing if you want to stay standing, but taking a seat, if that is good for you, on a chair or on the ground, just whatever you're going to feel comfortable for the next few moments. So I just want a reminder, if you like, of when we think of breath work, we often think of doing something. That like, oh, I have to do a 4-6 count, or I have to do box breathing, or I have to do a particular practice or a particular exercise, which is great. But that's only one element of it, remember. That's where we are in charge of the breath. And it's fantastic that we can take charge of the breath to create different physiological adaptations to the body and different hormones, etc., a different mindset with the breath. But remember that the majority of stuff that you can do is just that conscious awareness, because you don't have to spend hours and hours doing it. You don't have to put your training shoes on to go and do it, or get changed to go and do it. Just take your time every so often just to bring conscious awareness to the breath, just noticing the breath. And it's a really nice way of building on your breathing practice. So with that in mind, we're just going to spend a few minutes just doing that, and then we're going to spend a few minutes playing around with that pause again at the end of the breath that we did there. So just in a comfortable position, as I say, you're going to be comfortable for the next few minutes with this. Relaxing into the face, keeping the spine strong. Relaxing particularly into the jaw. We all know if we get tightness and tension, it tends to come into the jaw. If we relax the jaw, if we relax the face, it signals to the rest of the body, oh, we must be fine because our face is relaxed. We can't be stressed. So bring that relaxation to the face and to the jaw. And then just noticing the breath. How does it feel? How does the breath feel? Where do you notice the breath? Conscious awareness, not changing anything. Maybe it will change a little bit because we're bringing attention to it, but not actively taking control, not actively being in charge. Just let the breath breathe. Just let the body breathe. Where do you feel it in the nose? That's a really easy place to notice the breath, because we're physically taking air in and out through the nose. So focus on that physical sensation of the air in and out through the nose. And actually, when your mind drifts off, which it will do, that's a good thing, because it gives you that opportunity to very gently bring your attention back to the breath, bring your conscious awareness back to the breath. So it's training your mind to bring your focus back to that physical sensation of the breath. Where else in the body do you notice movement as you breathe? The subtlest of movements. Maybe in the chest, maybe in the belly, the ribs, the back. Just explore, just play around with where you notice a response to the breath. Not doing anything, not trying to breathe in any particular way. And remembering that even though we're breathing so subtly and softly now, with every single breath, there's an energy, there's an openness, and there's an expansion with the breath in. And there is a letting go and a softening and a relaxing with each breath out. So even though it's very soft and light, an opening and expansion as we breathe in, and then a softening and letting go and relaxation as you breathe out. Without doing big breaths, we don't need to do big breaths. We will do in a minute. And then I want you to follow 3 more breaths. And then on the 4th breath, I want you to do a big breath. So big expansion and then a letting go. So 3 breaths and then a nice, refreshing letting go. And then when you've done that, nice refreshing sigh of relief, if you like. Just gentle, soft, light, easy breathing again. And just for the last couple of minutes now, I want you to explore that pause at the bottom. So we're not even controlling it. I want you to almost get to that place at the bottom where you pause, you relax into it. This is really calming, this is really relaxing. It's not about forcing, it's not about pushing. And then you just get that, almost like that little trigger just to say, oh yeah, I'm going to take another breath in, and that breath will just flow in naturally. So this is so subtle. But just play around with that pause at the bottom of the breath, just for the next few breaths. Remember, the pause is not a hold. We're not holding tension. It's your space just to let go and relax, be calm. And then when you're ready, we're going to do that nice big full breath again. And let go. And have a little bit of a shake. Play around with that when you get a moment. As I say, you don't have to wander off and be in the dark or with a candle or anything like that. Just take a few moments to be consciously aware of the breath, and then explore that pause a little bit, keeping it calm and relaxed. There is a big difference between holding the breath when we tense. What's going on? Oh no, this is horrible. Because the body tenses up, as opposed to that, yeah, I'm just relaxing. I'm just having a really nice, chilled, relaxed time here at the bottom of the breath. Thanks for joining. If you're on Zoom, if you're the premium members, Alice will be doing the class again on Wednesday morning for the Zoomers. So there'll be no live class on Instagram, Facebook or YouTube on Wednesday, but I'll be back again next Monday somewhere else in Spain after the Oxygen Advantage Instructor Training. Really appreciate you joining. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take care.
Great. Bye, everyone.
Bye.